The UNA football team wrapped up their 7th practice of spring training last Friday. This Lion Vision update, we're going to talk to UNA head football coach Chris Willis about the first scrimmage of spring practice. And, Coach, before we dive into that, I guess for you, first go around as head coach, what was it like being, out there overseeing the scrimmage aspect of practice?
Well, it was just good to actually get out there and, have some contact and go to the ground. I mean, as a coach, sometimes you kind of brace for some of those things because you don't want to see people get injured, especially in spring. But sometimes you got to do some of these things to see if guys can tackle in space and can running backs hold on to the football and make the cuts. One thing under Coach Wallace I learned is, outside of having, be patient is don't get out there and beat your guys up and come away from here with a bunch of injuries. So, I used to be that guy that wanted to tackle all the time, but I kind of see where he was coming from. But there are times that you got to do, especially in the spring. I want to see who can be physical. And, overall, I was pretty pleased. I think we had one injury that day. Outside of that, I think we came out okay. We ran about 60, 61 plays or something like that. And, it was different. I used to catch myself on the other side, being defensive coordinator, getting kind of caught up in the moment of the call. And, regardless, even though you only have a limited amount of stuff in and the offense only has a limited amount of stuff in, you still make it competitive. I used to always want to win. I want to win every snap. So, but I had to be neutral. I had to catch myself being neutral Saturday. It was, I actually was a little more relaxed. I guess, the coordinators probably wasn't, but I was during that time.
Let's start out with the offensive side of the ball. We're a little shorthanded on the offensive line, but what did you see from the likes of your quarterback position, Blake Hawkins, running backs? I know wide receiver, we held out Dre Hall. Did that allow some other guys to step up?
Yeah, offensively, I've said this a couple of times, and it's been noted that the offensive line is a little beat up. We got some guys out, probably 3. I can name 3 right off the top of my head, starters that are not going through right now, and so we're a little limited up front. And so I've been very pleased with the running backs, knowing that they probably don't have some of the guys that will be blocking for them in the next season up front. So, Nick Taylor has looked good this spring, a running back that was here for us last year. Damon Cox, I think, is only going to get better. We had Ray Beasley went through reps. We got a couple. Terrence Humphreys is out there now. We're not allowing him to go through contact, but he'll be ready come fall. And and I may be leaving somebody out right here, but the running backs as a whole have looked good. They've ran the ball very strong, and so considering the situation at O-line, and I've been very pleased. Quarterback play, we lost Smothers for the spring due to he had surgery on his shoulder, so he's not going through spring. And then you look out, and we had a guy who had walked on by the name of Trey Lewis. He's got a bulging disc in his back, so we lost him. So we got 3 quarterbacks going through, and Blake has looked well. I've really been pleased with Blake. We know what kind of runner he is, but so far the reads have looked good. He's thrown some good balls. And I've been very pleased with Blake. The other 2 quarterbacks, Tyler Jeffries and Matt Markham, they're competing. One may have a better series than the other at times. They're pretty equal right now. We're just kind of see if one of them can separate from the other. But right now, clearly, Blake Hawkins is the number 1 guy.
Oftentimes during this time of practice, people say that the defense is well ahead of the offense. So for Brett Borden's crew, what did Friday's scrimmage look like for them?
Well, and he'd tell you this: we could have been better. There were some flashes at times that we did some good things, but overall, I think the concern he's having right now is just, the effort's been there. The guys are working hard. It's just some of the positions right now, some of the guys, I'm not going to say it's been a disappointment, but just guys that, here's their opportunity, make the best of it because we're maybe short in numbers at that position, are just not stepping up. And so, that goes back to, some guys that are just youthful and young. And, we lost a lot of guys. I think 30 guys walked out the door, counting a couple of guys that, had injuries and due to academics on top of the seniors. And so, the numbers are just down out there. So you got some guys that probably another year away from playing. But overall, I think he likes their intensity and their effort. And, we got some guys over there that are trying to be leaders. And that's what kind of we're looking for too. Who in this time right now in spring football when maybe you got to go a few more reps than you want to, and you may not be as good as in this position as you was in the fall. I mean, who's stepping up and making the best of the situation? So overall, I would say Brett would probably give himself this spring a C. I wouldn't think it's by no means an A, but he feels it's kind of, we're steady, but it could be better.
So here we are, Coach, heading into the 8th practice of spring training, our 3rd week now. So we've been going at it. We're coming off of the first scrimmage. What do we do this week to get better?
Well, we've got 4 straight days this week. We're going Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. Due to Easter holidays, we're going to let them off Friday. School will be shut down Friday for Good Friday. So today we're going to kind of get there, clean up stuff from the scrimmage, kind of go over. And I think offensively and defensively we're going to install some different stuff today. So it'll be some new stuff. Tomorrow we'll come out and we'll go full pads again, and we'll kind of get after it tomorrow. I won't say scrimmage, but we'll have a scrimmage type setting at the very end. And I know both coordinators will want to see what looks, what they installed today looks okay putting in tomorrow. So, and then Wednesday we'll scale back a little bit. And then we're going to go Thursday morning for a 6 a.m. practice. And we're doing that just because of the holiday weekend coming up. We're going to have our weights and still our meetings that day and try to get them out of here a little sooner, because I know some of the guys are going to want to get on the road. And, I don't want guys driving at night. I want to try to get them on the road where it's safe to travel. And but we're going to get up that morning and have another scrimmage and get after it. And, I don't know how many plays. We'll base it off how long the offensive line can hold up and kind of go from there.
4 practices this week leading up to the spring game on the 22nd of April. Be sure to visit RoarLions.com to get all of your UNA football updates.